For factor formula for any angles of A and B, we have two different types of formula. For the first one is for sum to product, and the second one is for product to sum. We have four different formulas to choose from. For example, if you have sine A plus sine B, so the formula is 2 sine A plus B over 2 cos A minus B over 2. If let's say the question is asking for cos A minus cos B, it's going to be negative 2 sine A plus B over 2 sine A minus B over 2. For product to sum, for example, if you have sine A cos B, the formula is 1 over 2 sine A plus B plus sine A minus B. And for example, if we have cos A cos B, it's going to be 1 over 2 cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. Let's discuss example 14. Express the following as a product of two trigonometric functions. So we have sum to product here. So we have A is 6 theta and B is 4 theta for part A. So the formula is sine 6 theta plus sine 4 theta. So the formula is 2 sine A plus B, so 6 theta plus 4 theta over 2 cos A minus B over 2. Simplify to get 2 sine 6 plus 4 is 10 divided by 2 is 5 theta. Cos 6 minus 4 is 2 divided by 2 cos theta. For example 15, we need to change from the product to sum. So for part A, our A is 6A and our B is 2A. So the formula for this one is sine 6A sine 2A is equals to negative 1 over 2 cos A plus B. So that will be 6A plus 2A minus cos A minus B, which is 6A minus 2A. Simplify to get cos 8A minus cos 4A. Okay, now we're going to discuss on how to find solutions for trigonometric equations. Okay, so we have a step here called bracket. So what is bracket? Bracket is basically BA stands for basic angle. The second step is to find the quadrant. The third step is to find the interval. The last one is to rotate. Okay, don't worry, we're going to discuss on bracket steps in our examples after this. We also have a special angle that we can get by using graphs. For example, in order to solve sin theta equals to k and cos theta equals to k, if we have the k values of negative 1, 0, and 1, you can take a look at the graph here. So for example, when you have k equals to 1, for sin theta over here, the answer will be pi over 2. And for example, we take sine 3 pi over 2 over here, then the answer will be negative 1. For cos, if let's say we have k equals to 1, therefore the answer is, for the theta will be 0. Okay, and then if let's say we take 3 pi over 2 as the theta, for cos 3 pi over 2 over here, then the value of k is 0. Alright, Example 17. Find the values of theta where theta from 0 to 360 for sine theta equals to a half. Alright, so let's start. The first step is to find basic angles. Alright, so alpha is basically arc sine 1/2. And the answer is 30. The second step is Q, to find which quadrant, and the question is sign positive. So it's in quadrant 1 and 2. So this is basically our alpha. The third step is to find the interval. So the interval is from 0 to 360. And the last part is to rotate. Okay, so let's rotate. So the first rotation is the basic angle, which is 30. Okay, the second one is basically 180 minus the basic angle, which is 150. So that's the answer. For part B, we have cos 3 theta minus 75 equals to 0.5. So we're going to start our bucket. So for the first one, we're going to find the arc cos for 0.5. And the answer is 60 degrees. For the quadrant, cos is positive from the first and the fourth quadrant. For the interval, we start off with 0 to 360, but since the question actually asks for 3 theta minus 75, so we have to multiply by 3 and deduct 75. So it's going to be negative 75 until 1005. And for the rotation, it's going to be 3 theta minus 75 degrees equals to, so the first one is 60. Next, we rotate to the fourth quadrant and we get 300. But since the maximum is 1005, we need to rotate again. So we're going to add up 360 from 60 and 360 from 300. So it's going to be 420 and 660. We haven't reached our maximum yet, so we're going to add another 360 for both of the values. So 420 plus 360 is 780. And 660 plus 360 is basically 1020. But this one already exceeds our maximum value here. So we can simply ignore it. But then, you can notice that we actually move from 0 to 75, negative 75. Okay, so we still have to rotate this way. And we figure out that there is another one value, which is negative 60. When we try to rotate the other way, it exceeds negative 75, so we can ignore the value. So when we add up 75 for each one of them, plus 75 and divide by 3, We're going to get the final answer of 5, 45, 125, 165, 245, and 285 degrees. Example 19. We have to solve the equation 2 cos square x minus 1 equals to sin x, and we have to give answer in pi. Okay, so let's start. So basically we know that cos square x plus sin square x equals to 1. So we have to replace cos square x. Substitute with 1 minus sin square x followed by negative 1 equals to sin x. Expand to get 2 minus 2 sin square x minus 1 and bring sin x to the left hand side to equal 0. Negative 2 sin square x minus sin x plus 1 equals to 0. Before we can factorize, we have to make sure that the coefficient for sin square is positive. So, divide everyone by negative 1 to get 2 sin square x plus sin x minus 1 equals to 0. Factorize to get 2 sin x minus 1 and sin x plus 1. So from here, we'll get two different set of answers, which is 2 sin x minus 1. So to simplify, we get 2 sin x equals to 1 and sin x equals to 1 over 2. The other one is sin x plus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, sin x equals to negative 1. Next, we have to follow the 4 rules, which is bucket. The first one is bar, basic angle. So alpha is arc sine 1 over 2. And the answer is pi over 6. Next step is Q for quadrant. So sign positive is in the first and second quadrant. So this is a pi over 6 and pi over 6. The third step is for the interval. So x, from the question, you can see clearly the interval is from 0 to pi, inclusive. And last one, rotate. So we're going to take the x. So x equals to, the first rotation is pi over 6. Like this. And the second one is basically pi minus pi over 6. And the answer is 5 over 6 pi. Okay, let's take a look at the other set of answer, which is sin x equals to negative 1. Repeat the same process again. So, you have to find the basic angle. So, alpha. So, arc sine 1. We're going to ignore the negative because negative will be considered during quadrant. So, arc sine 1 is pi over 2. So, for the second step, which is Q, which quadrant is actually sign will be negative? It's going to be the third and fourth quadrant. But let's take a look at my drawing. Pi over 2 is basically right here. Right? Okay. So we're going to delete the previous quadrant and draw like this. Okay? Because this is pi over 2 and pi over 2. So for interval, it's going to be the same, which is x is between 0 and 2 pi. But when we try to do the rotation, so the first rotation is this. Also for the second rotation. Okay? So the answer will be 3 over 2 pi only. So to conclude, the final answer is x equals to pi over 6 radians, 5 pi over 6 radians, and 3 over 2 pi.